Whoa, I like the music in here. Good choice.
It's for today's topic. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking to you about a really hot topic that I know most of my friends in the banking and finance industry can relate to, and that's the topic of marijuana in the banking industry, right?
Yeah, and actually this came about because I used to work with the chairman of the banking committee, actually in Oklahoma, that just passed this law, and he was saying the banks needed this help.
Yeah, so what we've been finding, especially with some of our customers, and just to give you a really quick background, like obviously marijuana has been legalized in some states, but federally it's still illegal. So most of the companies that are now involved in the marijuana industry, either manufacturing or distributing, are looking to find banks that will help them to manage their money. And the banks obviously are really hesitant about doing it. Some of the banks have adopted a program where they will help to bank some of these companies in the marijuana industry, and some of them have said, no, we're absolutely not going to do it, which has really presented us with an interesting opportunity. So for the last 20 years, Compliance Line's been doing sanction screening and licensing monitoring. And so some of our clients have actually asked us to begin monitoring the license for some of these customers that are out there to make sure that they truly are licensed to do business in the marijuana industry, to protect the bank's risk of doing business with those individuals. But Jess, you ran into sort of a different scenario of other ways that people would want to use that, correct?
Yeah. So, and I think ultimately the reason these companies are so hesitant, one way or the other, even if they decide to do business, is that FDIC credibility that they get in trying to get those funds. You know, obviously that's a federal certification that they get, and they can lose that if they break the federal laws, right? So I actually worked with a bank, and they wanted us to monitor all of the individuals and all the customers
that they were already doing business with,
right, that they were already doing business with, to make sure they didn't have marijuana license. They can check through, you know, certain transactions, but they really need to know, because if it's in their system and it's known publicly that they have a license, then they could lose their FDIC credibility or FDIC certification for that. So this bank came to us and said, hey, I want to see if any of my customers have these marijuana license, because we don't want to do business with them. We don't want to take that risk. We want to mitigate that risk otherwise and not do business with them.
Yeah, so it's interesting. We kind of found a positive case and a negative case where we can check companies to make sure they have their license, to make sure that banks are doing business with a legit company and they're not trying to do money laundering, or in Jess's scenario where they want to consistently check the customers that they're already doing business with to make sure that they don't have a marijuana license. So this is a topic that's become really, really a hot topic in the banking industry. One thing that we found recently, and you guys may not know this, is the Department of Justice just came out and made an announcement that said that if we see an infraction in an area like this, but we can see that you're paying for services and putting measures in place to protect yourselves from these types of risk, and you're doing all the right things, they're actually going to be lenient with you if they find that you have a violation. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's huge of them to come out and say, because you're making effort, we're going to be more lenient when there's a violation. So regardless, the point of today's topic is that if you're in the banking industry and this is a topic you want to learn more about, we'd be more than happy to talk to you about it, to kind of give you some updates and some education. And obviously, if we can help you in the area of license monitoring, we'd love to do so.
Or sanction checks.
Or sanction screening.
That's all about the federal government.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.